Oh, wow. This is unbelievable how things just fast track in so many Heinlein centers. It's amazing how we get into the galactic units of 1 and 2 in position of crew center. I got the structure and inference. It's how to play mechanism of time switch. It's all about understanding how to turn all levels of the Earth into hologram game in communication, inference, location, and calculations. It's high centering right now through the XY line center. Rotation center, position, location, calculations. I sent you guys 2 powerful TikToks. One for position of the crew and one position of levels of what's going on with unit 1 and 2. The triangle line force is his communication cycle. Now, there's 3 cycle line center location of the sun and position location calculations. The high channel rotation is all levels. 3 galactic units. The crew, unit 1 and unit 2, are going to be in the classroom in space position locations and 3 cubic line centers of space position. Now, they allocate time center. You guys are going to be all levels in your suits. High level locations of highliners of silver. In calculations, the rebellion and everything through the GFL is going to be 250 million years track line center, time sequencing time codes, vector interference line conditions, transit line conditions of transformers, which is all levels of 2,000 line positions, track line centers, calculation modification circle, time square, calculation rotation interference, calculation line conditions in positions, ground line centers in position of power line centers. 5-10 minutes, we'll get started. Make sure you have your water, especially when you travel through high center. Now we get a 7-day track center. Now, 7-day track center, first we go into all levels, 250 million years in the future. Reset line center locations, all levels, Antarctic line conditions. Okay, tomorrow we'll go all level position locations to Jupiter. Jupiter high line center rotation and future locations and its conditions. But we have to get into the XY line center first. Everybody into levels of the units in high position location is going to be in a classroom, floating in space. You get your graph line centers, your rotations and interference, all level system and calculations. You're going to be centering off all line conditions. So it's like a classroom, right? But you're going to be in a cubic line position. You're going to have 3 instructional locations, 1 in crew, 1 in unit 1, and 1 in unit 2. Okay, truly understand what's going on is all levels of you. Okay, you understand the purpose of being on the Earth line conditions. All right, the crew is going to hold the ground center, and everything through all levels of unit 1 and 2 are going to hold the side system locations. Right, so because the Earth right now is under construction, and the rebellion and everything through the GFL is going to reset everything to the sun and the moon position. So turning this into a hologram structure is important to understand its units and how it positions its locations. So you're going to be in 3 different units or levels of teleportation of XT thousands. You're going to be picked up through teleportation line positions. You're going to see lights blink off. Your particle system is going to change. The current line center is going to rotate the cycles to harvesting setting. Reposition locations. Your calculation line center stands on point system. Now, the point system is already in position locations. Now, standing in high center, try to understand all levels of the Merkaba. Okay, this is the point locations. Once you reach 114 chakras, you can travel through all levels of your tesseracts to your tetrahedrons. That's what it's all about. Getting to whole level systems and compartments, reaching the highest level of light into space position. You can correlate anything to division of teleportation. All right. So you have to first start off with your units. Your units get you more in the memory cycle, right? The 8 central line position locations, how you come into the birth line center of 3, 6, and 9 patterns. It operates all line position locations, right? 3,000 line channels of the sun, 6 locations of position of the moon probing line center, and everything through 9 locations sets a new cycle into a new unit rotation. Okay, so it's a lot of things that are happening right now. So this 7 days is going to be incredible when we come to that conditions. All right, so I'm going to fast track line center rotation interference. We're going to travel extremely fast. Everything is all levels of the crew and position locations 369 years in the future. Okay, mocking 5. The GFLs and rebellion will be mocking 12. Okay, so all right, so I'm just going to skip through a list here. All right, wow, there's a lot of people in here. A lot of energy. It's flowing nicely. It's good. Question or comments you leave afterwards. Just concentrate on you and you only. Okay, so everybody is in here. That is an activation core center. Please leave the questions afterwards. It complicates all levels of issue of travel. Okay. Now, the GFL and the Rebellion has a core line center. It's a digital core or the barcode line system. It's all about high line centers. You have to identify your hands when you get in position location, seeing the transformers. They're in position location calculations of transits. All right, your identifications to digital line centers and operation system. All right, so let's see. Jenny, Rebellion, Trey, how's it going? Anastasia. All right. Johnny. Oh, there's a lot of energy in here. Oh. Ellen, Melinda, Michelle, Airbender, Jill. I know everybody's here. Terry. Calculations. Ambi. Heather. Don. All right, I'm just going through here. Rainer, Allison. It's great to see you guys in your units. You know, it's fantastic to see you guys. Congratulations on your operating systems. So, wow. Okay, I'm just going through channels here. All right, so when you guys travel, try to understand that what the mind is doing is getting you more ready into activation system. All right, it changes position, location, all levels of acceleration. All right, Jeanette, great to see you. Make sure you change your YouTube channels. Know exactly where you are through your units. That's true understanding to its position. That's fine, Ellen. All right. I understand you guys are busy, so let's get started, shall we? All right, so the structure is set up. We're going to travel extremely fast in position. Now, the core line center is all structured. Okay, so the 3 cubic lines are set up through the crew, units 1 and unit 2. We're going to travel you first, right? And they're going to set the position. The GFLs and the Rebellion are already set up in graphs, so they're already traveling. All right, so it's all set up. Now this is how it's in position locations. Now I'm going to read out the cycle line center, code system locations, all levels on YouTube location. Travel position location is all levels of its current line system, okay? Trans teleportation unit line positions, okay? 3 position line centers into the grounds crew, all levels of unit 1 and unit 2. Set the course line center, atom line center, meteorological line stand in position calculations. Set the course into unified center in 369 million years in the future location. All right, center up in high system locations calculations. Now, you're traveling Mach 5 in calculation line centers. Make sure you drink your water and allocate time switch. All right, this is set up in position location and calculations. 3 unit line centers into the grounds into all position locations of unit 1, unit 2 line center rotation, right? The atom rotation is in the circle line connections, all right? So the job of this location is the crew. Coming into all levels of unit 1 and unit 2, holding the earth line position in construction. All position locations. The GFLs are going to hold the atmosphere line positions and everything. The Rebellion is going to set the high line positions of holding space. Now, this is how you allocate position of timelines. All right, in calculation modification system. Now, all units, all position of grounds, unit 1 and 2 is set up. All right, you guys are your information system. You're floating in space line center in position location and track line centers. Now, you're given 3 instructions to that line conditions. You get your graph and position locations right in front of you. It's a hologram line center. Now, the hologram line center is kind of position location calculations. It opens all track line centers. You calculate modified centers. In position, you guys are going to have instructors for each calculations, all levels of memory. This puts you in your galactic units at teleportation line centers. Okay, so teleport units, line position locations of the crew, units 1 and units 2. Allocate time switch. Or in position locations, you're traveling through lights now. Okay, set course line position. Now I'm going to set the code line centers all over the GFL. High position location identification line positions. Open all track line conditions. Travel position locations at 250 million line centers. Transformation communication. In communication, 3 circles, sun line, and interference line position. Code signal line connections, XY line center. Teleport line center, identification line conditions of general AI space-time communications. 20 minutes, have fun. All right, second line center, set position key calculations. Questions or comments, leave that to us. Have fun. All right, so it's all set up. All right, is everybody okay? That's where we are here. Now I can go through the solar text locations. Grounds, breathe. Yeah. All right. Please save questions. All right. Comments for TikTok. This is a live session. Okay. Concentrate on you and you alone. All right. So where are we? Okay, so highlight center line conditions of lulls. Get in the GFL conditions of the Arctic Circle. Now, the Arctic Circle is all position locations 250 million years in the future. All right. So we're going to change line conditions. Let's go into all of the Arctic Circle locations. Okay, so we're going to baby blue, our rotations. All right, you're going to the Arctic Circle where there's glaciers and high center line conditions. But see, you have to understand the wall electrical line is nothing but a computer graph. So it allocates line position location and calculations. Starts in opposition location. All right, so you got the ground line center position locations calculations. XT1000 line position scans right away in position location. All right. Now, all position locations, the GFL and the rebellion is setting course and coming out the highest line center. So modified signal rotation interference locations. All right. So these are spot channels. Spot channels open up all levels of identification line conditions. All right, so you're going to hear computers, sounds, and all that, right? Because you're 250 million line center. So this is all levels of the GFL. All right, tracking center line position location calculations. There's the GFL and the rebellion. All right, set the course line center to update line interference. There you go. Now you've been teleported. All right, high signal line conditions, all levels. Right through position locations, high line channel line conditions, interference line position locations calculation. Now, when I go back and track center in position locations, you can see the unit position. See the unit, see the face, see the done core line center. All right, so in position locations, I'm going to change the graph line center. This is for the Galactic Federation and the rebellion. Set course line centers, activates line position location calculations, all channel operation line positions. All right. Now you are in the transformation system. All right. Now it's all about understanding how to put things in sequence back in calculations. A new moon setting, a new moonbeam projector, how to put all levels of the sun position locations of teleportation wave line centers. Everything through the highlight system is a pixel activation line conditions. Reconstruct all line center in position location and calculations. Off signal line center and interference. All right. So the transit line center, the teleportation wave interference, and the unit line center is set in the core line conditions in division. All right. So this is how you set things up through transformer units. Knowing exactly what you're doing in the Arctic Circle. All right, water decoder here. Catching these in here. That's fine. Can find a way there, Marley. Yeah. All right, so where are we here? Lots going on, lots of energy. Whoa. Okay, light codes are ready. Okay, bouncy code is a flywheel, members Merkaba, harmonic frequencies, tuned in flash drive set with 7 and 3 on folder line. Actually, know exactly how to use that, Johnny. Right? You got to know the megahertz of 7 and calculates all levels of 3 code line rotation of folders. Light language balancing, Ambi, good. Excellent. Rainer, high center. Hard sonar coming in. Get ready. Okay, get condition line systems. All right, let's see here. Merkaba activation, diamond core pulsating. Thunderbird. Seeing all the Merkabas on the grid and booting up. Okay, so this is where you're coming to energy scrambler there, Jill. Again, activation line position, cell correlation. This planet interference location XT1000 line connections. All right, flash drive ready. Fantastic. Sonars are set. Great. Setting up all stairs to its sonar. It's a tunnel to its time. Exactly on. So you have to understand the Jarmshin line center matrix interference. This opens up new dimensional door settings to the sun and the moon location. All right. Okay, hydrated, clearing all debris from all around sonar panels to complete. Okay, now your integration line conditions. Now you're in the all position location in the Arctic Circle. You are wearing your orange suits. And body track line center, vibration line position locations. Well, I can really see the team by face recognizing now. It's amazing when you go to that position where you see actually everybody through face recognition of time. All right, see the white pyramids, calculations. Okay, nice on. Let me know when it's ready. Portal's almost ready. Moon phrase on the sky and the sun. St. Johnny and standing in front. Giant doors. Yeah, magnetic metal. All right, so you guys gone through the panel line, center, rotation, interference, location, identification, code system. But it's amazing how we come into that positions. All right, first. Now, this puts you in a high level rotation. Now, in calculations, we go into higher division. All right, so we're going to apply to line and line condition rotations, all levels of purple. Okay, now this changes the behavior line center, commanding line interference location put in the hologram structure because it is the conditions all levels of amethyst. At high positions, locations all levels of 69. Your time position location in your seed pods is activated through a circle. It activates core line center rotation interference location calculations. So it's amazing how it channels its high line connections. So I'm going to set up course line position, saying exactly what's going on through calculation line connections. So it's a map sequence that I'm giving you guys, the GFLs and the Rebellion, setting course to all levels of a hologram line center. Okay, metric cube line center interference program locations to high line conditions into vector core communication cycle. It sets up position of these calculations. It's high channeling, right? High channeling, high line rotation interference. All right, coming into all levels of triangle line center. Triangle line center, teleport line position out through signal, rotation position of calculations. Set the course line centers into all metric cube center. All right, open up all door line position location to vector core line position. Now this is all done through AI map sequence in calculation. All right, channel rotation centers and calculation line conditions. Now this is all code signal locations of the new sun program. Now it's set up position location in the AI circle. Set up the hologram line structure location position. All right, so setting up the plasma wheel, Chris. Plasma wheel is coming in position locations to its connection. There's the plasma wheel. Now, you have to send the 8 line center. It's going to come in around position locations. Here we go. Rotation center in position locations to a new 8 central line connection. 8 central line center is set up in position location calculation. This is a new film projector for humanity in a new behavior line center into new sun graph line position to new graph interference location. Program location and calculations. High position location to center operation line center in calculation modification cycle. Now, rotation interference location positions. All right. Calculation modification line conditions. All position locations of the sun graph line center and moon location position. All right. Now, you got to understand how this is setting up to a new TV line. All right. It's like bunny ears. All right. So the core line center set position location calculations. Let's go into the snowy graph. All right. Snowy graph, high line centers, all level positions of white. All right, we come into the white. All right, so this is about birthing line positions to a new radiation cycle, communication to new humanity line rotation, putting you guys to new acceleration line conditions, modify all your signal location to its calculations. It sets up with the snowy graph interference to its program setting. See the snowy graph? Now, snowy graph comes into a rainbow activation line center. This sets the course all levels of computer location to its conditions. Use the 24 units in program line center. Sets position location to cell generation light conditions. Opens up all levels around line interference, lacing line position location and calculations. All right. We'll go into different channel line center. All right. And position locations. Come into rainbow activation line center, stream interference to its position. All right. Now in calculations, we're going to set the course line center to new position location of the sun and a new position location of its moon, of its projection location to its calculation. It's high channeling right now to rotation centers. Now, everything at the Rebellion line center and everything at the GFL is setting course line positions. Allocate time streams interference. Sonars coming in. Set and signal interference. Setting center line connections to the code line interference locations. Channel and position comes back in track system. Comes back in the center operation line center. Okay. So we line stream the graph line center, set the core line center to a new division line position location and calculations into a new triangle fence. Now we get a new triangle line fence and position calculations. Set the core line center electrical light connection to the box system. Allocate time switch. Now it's activated to new time frame. Calculation line streams. Imposition of new code signals. Coming in all level system rotation line positions. All level rotation line centers come to all levels communication line center. Okay. Illuminated graph line center position locations. All right. Set the course line positions. Now Vega's coming into rotation center. Okay. Now it's amazing how Vega channels in so many line interline connections. All right. So there's Vega. Vega's in high center right now. Vega's going to change the digital line locks in communication interference. Its program locations allocate position of dimensional time center. Opens up all travel records of time location into new dimensional time switch. That time switch is changing everything's high system. Allocate time switch location, new position location to calculations. Operate signal line interference location to rebellion. Set the core line centers all levels of Merkaba. New channel line position and new 12 DNA track center. Opens up all calculation modifications to circles. Set the new course line position locations all levels. In position location, Vega sets up a new triangle line center, a new ground line center. Rotation interference location to calculations. Opens up all channel line center to a location to its connections. High position line centers to new metrical line interference location to center operation. Set the course line centers and stream interference. In position location to calculations. Set the core line center to new tree formation line position. Activate the core line center to new geometry line center, galaxy line interference location to calculations. Hooah! In modified line center rotation interference. Okay? So, a lot going on, isn't there? Is everybody okay? Woo! This is so much fun. All right, so it's amazing how I just keep going and going and going and going, right? It's all through graph interference. This is all about platitude a new seed pod line center to a new T reception line of a new sun position locations and resetting all loads of the moon line system. Now keep time switch location and calculations. So it's incredible how you come into that force line connections, right? All right, so how's everybody doing? Make sure you drink your water. Woo! All right. How's everybody doing so far? Is everybody okay? There's a lot going on, right? The computer resetting. This is all computer resetting of space and a new division line center into the unit locations and the crews and everything unit 1 and unit 2, how they have to get into the new graph line center and the new 12 DNA of the Merkaba location to its power line center to its space position. This is how you get into the facilities of your training units. All right. So we're all in this together. So let's go back and track center. And when I say back track center, it means the current line center rotation into all levels of transformation to its transformer communication. Right. So, all right, let's see. Heard a lot of rock and roll noise myself, locked in sound, a lot of computer sounds. Knowing exactly what you guys are doing there, right? How to set up sequence locations. So sonar sound is getting programs. Excellent. Crystal contains an energy source. Tempo portal. Okay, let's see. Coming into sparked ice ground. Very good, Jeanette. It's good that you're seeing these things. All levels of purple all around. The plasma flywheel is bright white. Very good. Chris. Diamond core receiving sonar. Excellent. You guys are doing well. Corporal is calculated to instruction positions. Don, thank you. Breathe, everybody. Getting downloads. Sending to Thunderbird. Excellent. That's the core team. All right. So in calculations, you can watch the video game. Position location calculations. So basically, my YouTube is basically turning into a video game. All right. And it's about understanding structural line centers. In position locations where you have to understand all levels of transformation. Calculation all levels of position location division. So checking waves around the tunneling system, balanced and cleared. Right, falling conditions as seen. The TV projection, reset. Black screens for a moment, then clear for a new reception. Setting Banshee to help. Oh, Chris. All right, Gypsy. I see you dancing. Nice. Seeing the third disappearing completely. Yep, that's exactly what's happening, Chris. Very good. So the magnetic fields is now surfacing out. And 5-dimensional ground line centers and nature core is coming in. High position locations of a new magnetic field channel to a T reception locations of the sun and resetting cycle location, the resetting button locations of its new projector line connection with its moon. So this is how it's all done through equation, people. Little gold threads are growing in the fields of plasma. All right, rebooting. Okay, calculations here. Okay, time switch, time center, time activation line position. Had big chills and crying, first class. Guess this is normal. Yeah, Tara, welcome. At least you can see these things. That's good. So you're getting to see what you need to see when you're in class, knowing what's going on in levels of U in space program, especially if you come into calculation for the very first time and seeing these things. It's amazing. So all right, well, birds are flying. Let's see, calculation sonars around the bridge is updated and cleared. Check the fields. Okay, excellent. Missing the bridge. Okay, great. Excellent. All right, so next sequence in Highline Center. Remember, this is a 7-day track system. Right, it's all done through code signals, code reference, code weaving, highline and rotation interference. So back in calculations, we modify all position locations, right? Bringing in the seed pod line center to new 12 DNA track location of humanity into fifth dimensional wave centers and to allocate time switch. Time switch is extremely important. Okay, it's like switching a button off and then putting it back on again to a new higher light center. In calculation, this changes everything through its game system, puts everybody in the hologram of structure of their own division. That's what this is all about, right? So the core system is allocate time. Now, in position locations, we're going to go into levels of track center. Okay, we're going to go into the black line center line interference. Now, the GFL and the rebellion center location is going to set up higher levels of division, practical line conditions. One division line here. Okay, move it around center position location calculations. Center course, the highest center in calculation modification line system. Okay, and position location of calculations. All right, lock that in frame, high center. Coming to another triangularized center rotation interference. I have a new graph interference line position location. Okay, modify signal line positions. Now it's all about understanding how to set things up in sequence. You have to do it all through triangularized centers. This is all plateaus of 3, 6, and 9, right? High rotation line position of calculations. All channel rotation interference. Calculate modifications. Hold signal line center. Hold on, guys. Okay, so let's continue. Activate line streams, interline connections, locking in frame positions. So we start out that sequence now. The sequence line center is going to change position colors and line channel. Different triangle line centers. Remember, we're setting up 369,000 plateaus in position location and calculations. When you come into calculation line positions, this is what you come into formation. So we go back in signal, which is now the current line center. Okay. In positioning, they're cross signal location to its calculation. See? Now, this changes line centers in position location to calculation. Setting up signal lines is extremely important. How to set the coreless line center is all position location of travel. Okay, it sets its course. Now, we get in the GFL line center. The rebellion is going to set the sequence code locations. Joe's going to use the energy scrambler. That's going to change the deflect line center location next to the line centers. That's going to open up more geometry line centers of detection. So cross signal line connection interference program locations. Energy scrambler, highest center balance line position of grounds. There's the energy. In position locations. Now the center line center is going to change position location of calculations, coming into the dimensional setting of its flywheel. The flywheel is set up in all 12 line position location and calculations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 in signal rotation center. Calculation line connection interference. Program locations all levels. XT thousands coming into track center position location. Right above the signal. Rotation line position location. Tunnel defense. Tunnel defense. This is a whole level system locations. Ground line center to the Merkaba is setting the course line position, reconstructing the hologram of its Earth perception into its activation cycle, guys. This is incredible. This is being done as we speak right now. Calculation line interference and position location to calculation line rotation. Modify all signal line centers and calculations of 369,000 plateau interference location of plasma channels. Open all track line centers communication of the sun in position location. Reset positions of the moon and high line center. Structure interference location of ground screw into high levels of unit 1 and unit 2. Graph line center location of squad line systems in position locations. GFL set line connections into the rebellion interface at high positions. Okay, so in rotation center, calculation mod system. Now, we go into higher level system line connections. Now we go into round line sequence. Now a round line sequence is a high line center of flywheel line interference locations, one in one direction and one in the other direction line connections. All right, 2 center line connections. Now that opens up channel defense to higher levels of division location, operates at circle line connection, right? In position location at all levels, a whole new ground center. Okay, to a power switch that opens up all dimensional setting to new realm position location. All right, now set up the flywheel, comes in allocate switch line, flap line center, flap line center, flap line center, flap line center, flap line center. There's the connections of the flywheel. Flywheel set up position location calculation. Set up a new plasma wall. Plasma wall is coming up. Is set in sequence location to calculation line connections. Interchange position locations, graph line centers, all position locations of the sun and position locations of the moon. Coloration line change in position locations, allocate time switch, again in high system. Rotation centers, all position location Orion's belt. Set a new gateway interference location of program setting. Reset position on location system. Highlight channel line rotation interference location to calculation. In position to new ground line center rotation. All right. Modification signal line connections. All right. Ooh-ah. That's first day sequence. Tomorrow, number 2. So, how's everybody doing so far? This is how you reconstruct the Earth. All right. This is a lot of fun, isn't it? So you guys are understanding more form line centers when it comes into GFL location, all the connections when you come into the transformer units. It's amazing when you travel 250 million years in the future and how you set up a new flywheel line position location and calculations, all levels of its division, to a new hologram structure of a new game set of revelation. So that's day 1. Tomorrow, day 2. All right. Code signaling line interference line position of program setting. Reset line position location calculations. Off circle line conditions. Now let's get into structure line center. Let's go back and track line position locations where we started. Starting position of current line positions. Okay, so open up on line center rotations into the units. Now the unit line center is position location of crew. Crew here, unit 1, unit 2. High system location, earth line position. Now, the transformers are going to set up the units and rotation center to its alliance. Teleportation along line centers is going to open up all division line position location to your hologram structure to unit location, right? This is going to put a higher structure line graph into your memory of acceleration, mocking interference location and calculations, all right? So drink your water there, mystery. Drink your water. You're fluctuating very high. Balance communication all levels of mystery. Yeah, fluctuate line centers, put our water track interference back in balance. Okay, so you're back in signal. Now, when you get them into transit line center, teleportation line center location, all levels of units, you operate line center rotation interference location of its diamond core line system. Allocate timeline center, template location positions. All right, there it is. Yeah, already in signal. All right. Bring back all formation line centers, the crew position of unit 1 and 2, back in ground line interference. You guys are back now, sequence. Teleport wave center line connects all levels. Put the unit line center rotations of the level track system. Allocate time center line center to GFL. Bring them back in calculation. Set the core system of the flywheel interference. Program location. Set it up through opposite locations to the solar flares. Set and signal line centers back in calculations. Day 2 coming up. Ooh-ah. Done through equation. And that's how you set up day 1. So it's important. It's important to understand what's going on now, right? The structure is very important because you're traveling through it every single day. Every single day. And everything that we do now is now in the current line center of the now location, which is provision. All right. Modify signal to line center line conditions. So to understand how you change things in space and normally. All right. So how's everybody doing? It was a lot of work quickly, wasn't it? Pressure in the chest. You're just going fluctuating back down in position locations. You're coming back in your particle line centers in your cells. Remodification line condition teleportation units of the crew, units 1 and 2. Okay. All right. So how's everybody doing so far? Chest pressure. Thank you. I felt my right eye adjust. I fixed everything out of the system. Yeah, you're welcome there, Ellen. I'm glad you got to watch everything. I have to let me know which squad I apply to. Yeah, autistic, you got to change your YouTube, right? You got to get your galactic units. You're the grounds crew. I need you to change that so I can identify system. See you all tomorrow. Great job, teammates. Impressive flow. I feel successful. Yeah. You guys did a fantastic job. Smooth all across the board of space, right? Communicating everything through all levels of mission and how these done all levels of the equation. Crying, beautiful. Enjoy the release. I don't know what to change it to. Grounds crew, unit 1, autistic. Okay. All right. I drew. Remember, I couldn't just observing today. This puts you in a higher level system of structure. Corporal can help you out with that. Ask on TikTok later. I will be going back on. You have any questions or comments? You guys did fantastic for day 1. Day 2 coming up in position, location, and calculations. All right. So this is track line center locations, all computer line interference. X line center, all position locations out through signal. Adios.